Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of She is Speed. My name is Lana Ruse, and I'm going to be your host for this fantastic evening where we have some incredible runs lined up for you today. We're going to be showing off some Crypt of the NecroDancer, we're going to be showing off some Cadence of Hyrule, and we're going to be showing off some Tomb Raider 2. So stick around for the next 3 hours. I promise it's going to be a fantastic evening. But before we get started, we have a couple announcements to go through. First of all, Frame Fatales will be having its next all-women speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, starting this Sunday from August 21st to 27th. It's already here. I can't believe it. The marathon schedule is also now out, so make sure to type !FF in Twitch chat or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content, starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. All right, so for today, our first runner here is RP2 Knight with some Crypt of the NecroDancer. I'm going to let her introduce the run.
Hi,
Take it away.
I'm RP2 Knight. I am running Crypt of the NecroDancer, Aria low percent. Normally I'd go over what Aria is, but first I want to say that there's a new DLC that came out 10 days ago called Synchrony. So if you've seen a run of Crypt of the NecroDancer, this run will look slightly different because there's been a bunch of new content that was added 10 days ago. So yeah, Aria is one of the challenge characters in Crypt of the NecroDancer. You can see the restrictions on the screen. She can only use the base dagger. She dies in one hit, and she dies on a missed beat. I guess she dies in 2 hits for reasons, but she has a potion. But yeah, in addition, I'm going to be doing a low percent run, so I'm not going to pick up any items. Yeah, it's going to be. This is one of the challenges the game puts as an achievement that has very few people getting. So, yep. And on commentary is Wazki, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, hi, I'm Wesky. I play this game as well. Don't play this category in particular, but it is a really great game. Excited to do commentary for this.
Yeah.
I can't see the date, by the way.
So, yeah, give me a countdown and I'll get started.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Okay.
I still can't.
So, 1 second. Yeah, sorry. Having a little bit of technical things, and it's hard for me to just pause. So this is Zone 5. The main gimmick of Zone 5 is that there's this wire that's running through, and every time you hit an enemy off it, there's electricity that arcs. So you can use that to your advantage. And in each level, my goal is to kill the mini-boss, in this case, this brown dragon, and then step on the stairs. So, second. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So that was 5-1, and there's 3 levels per zone. So, I'm going to let Wazki take over now that she can see.
Okay, yeah. So Aria, unlike every other character in the game, starts in Zone 5, which normally Zone 5, it's the last zone in the game. You would think, it's the last, it should be the hardest, but really, it isn't. That's mainly in part due to the wire. The wire, when you're standing on it, you can do electric attacks. So basically, whenever you hit an enemy, that will try to arc near to other enemies. So basically, if you use the wire to your advantage, Zone 5 really shouldn't be all that hard. Right there, we just saw a mini-boss kill. You cannot complete the level until the mini-boss is dead. So that's basically the goal of every level, is to get to the mini-boss room, kill the mini-boss, go down to the next level. Currently on 5-3, so that means that the next level will be a boss fight. boss fights are a lot different than every other level in that not really randomly generated. I make sure they're like random things that can happen, but pretty much you're always gonna have a strategy for how you want to fight these boss fights.
The boss fights are actually the easier
There are
part
5.
of this. Like, as you practice, something easy to practice, whereas the levels are random. So this is Deep Blues. It's a chess fight. You win when you kill the king, and all the pieces move as if they're the normal chess pieces, although the queens, rooks, and bishops don't zip. So you get to see one of the easier fights.
Yeah. In my opinion, this is my favorite fight in the game. You can pretty much learn how to do this fight without ever getting hit, as long as you put in the practice. Like, I'm sure you can do that with other bosses, but there are like only so many openings that this fight's pretty easy.
Yeah, there are only
Still
48
satisfying
openings.
to
So.
Down to Zone 4, one of the harder zones in the game. The way we know how to get to the exit from Zone 4, so basically Zone 4 is kind of like a square. You always start in one of the corners. In this case, we started in the bottom left corner, so the exit, opposite side of the start, so start in bottom left, we're going to top right. Well, that's how we know where we're supposed to be going.
You can read it off the mini-map. If you know where the mini-map is normally, you can just tell whether you're in the bottom left, bottom right, top left, or top right.
Yeah. Okay, right now we know that a nightmare is going to be coming through because we see the little shadow that it produces. Not that difficult of an enemy, or mini-boss rather.
Yeah, it even tramples over some of the other enemies, so that's why the exit room was emptier than usual.
Right. Normally, you would see a sarcophagus in there, but it was trampled, so no sarc. Right, really got to be careful on this category, just to not make any mistakes. So Zone 4, Zone 4 has the hardest enemies in the game essentially. So it's very difficult to play perfectly essentially. So it's always really impressive to watch runs like this. Oh, right there is a bat cave. Those can just generate randomly throughout levels, except in Zone 2 for some reason. I don't know why Zone 2 is the exception. Bats are basically the only enemy in the game that move entirely randomly. We were trying to get, I guess, to see if like a dragon would trample.
I thought I heard dragon noises, so.
Okay, but yeah, right here we got the best mini boss in the game, the Banshee. You hit it and it deafens you essentially, and
like
pretty easy kill. Yeah, it's one of the easier enemies in the game. One of the easier mini bosses in the game to kill.
One of the things I did is I pinned the Banshee against the wall so that she couldn't move.
Oh, ouch.
That was silly. Okay.
Yeah, fire pigs
I
are
wasn't
just
paying attention to that. I was thinking too much about the Goblin Bomber.
right.
Yeah. So Zone 5 mapping is something which you just sort of learn. Like, why is the exit there? I don't really have a good way to explain it. I just sort of know this.
Right. Yeah, mapping is very important for going quickly in this game. Like, sure, you could find an actual map and not have to do mapping on your own, but in this category, that's forbidden since picking up a map breaks the whole low percent idea. So having your own like map in your mind is very important for top level runners.
That was called optimistic mapping. I was hoping that the exit was there, but it wasn't.
Gotta, like sometimes like right here, you just gotta be sure to lure the enemies out of the exit room without actually aggroing the mini boss, because sometimes you have to fight both at once. It's kind of difficult, so you really want to not rush into things in this category. Back to 5-3. I think this is one of my favorite songs in the game, personally. I mean, all the songs are great, but Zone 5 especially has some pretty good songs. Ooh, water ball. Okay, I was worried that water ball distance was gonna mess things up, but it didn't.
Yeah, so I was playing it safe there and just sort of went to get the water ball instead of like trying to continue on the fight. So.
Death metal.
This is death metal, the fastest music in the game, one of the easiest fights.
Yeah, not really much to do besides just kill all the evil eyes here, and be sure to try to prevent death metal from spawning any enemies on the additional phases. So far, it doesn't look like we're okay. We got an enemy. Just gotta dodge the electric orbs.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ignore that electromage.
Right.
So here we are, down. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. That applies to both Lana and chat.
Heck yeah, it's so fascinating to see just how easy you can make a game look when really, like, knowing that if you get hit, that's it. It's really fascinating to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, one of the piece of advice I have for people who are looking to play Aria normally is you just have to be sort of aggressive. You know, you just have to sort of assume you're not going to make a mistake. If you start playing too safe, you're almost guaranteed to make the mistake. So.
Yeah, confidence is extremely important, especially for not missing beats, because if you're looking at an enemy and you're not sure what you're going to do, you might hesitate. Hesitation often leads to you not doing anything, which kills you. So confidence is extremely important.
So you can hear an enemy mini-boss trampling over enemies. I'm totally fine letting that happen. You know.
Ah, darn! It didn't break any of the new wall spikes.
Yeah. That's a new mechanic which I'll point out somewhere.
Yeah.
And we see
when it's relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to 4-3. The fastest song in the game that isn't death metal. So, with beginner players for Aria, or well, any category really, it doesn't even have to be Aria. Just keeping the beat on this song is really hard when you're starting out, because it's 160 BPM. So yeah, it takes a lot of practice, really. Thankfully, that really shouldn't be an issue here. Another fire pig. Always generate 1 per level in Zone 4.
So there's a spike wall opposite the fire pig.
Yeah, and whenever you touch it or enemies touch it, it will deal 1 heart of damage, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. Okay, it's a fairly new thing as of around a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta avoid that bat because we don't know
Okay,
if
so
we're gonna
don't
get
blink.
there. Yeah, Coral Rift. Coral Rift 1 and 2, basically the easiest fight in the game, as long as you have a bomb.
Oh my gosh.
So I get 1 bomb and that's what I'm going to use it on.
Oh gosh, that lich got a little quicker over to you because of that teleport trap.
Yep.
Okay, so Zone 3, a very unique zone in that it's both. It generates in 2 sides. You get a hot side and a cold side. So right now we are in the cold side. So you're going to be seeing like cold, icy enemies like that Yeti, or in the hot side you'll be seeing like hot dogs and fire elementals. So it's a pretty cool zone. Both sides also have their own version of the song that's playing. So it can be. It's also the hardest zone for this category because it's so easy to get swarmed.
Yep.
Especially from the start. Like, if you're not paying attention, potentially immediately get swarmed and die before you even do anything.
Yeah, there's that tweet, everything happens too much, and that's a brief summary of this zone. There's sort of a lot of things can happen.
Oh, this is also the first zone where we see enemy zone bleed. So essentially, we are now seeing enemies from Zone 4 that normally would remain in Zone 4. Like, you see that sarcophagus. Like, normally that's exclusive to Zone 4. Every level after Zone 4 will generate with a Sark. So it's just one more thing that makes Arya a little more unique than most other characters.
Yeah. The reason for this is various lore reasons that I don't want to get into, but
yeah,
she's going through the crypt backwards for reasons.
I do want to point out that we're playing without the beat bars. You don't have to do that. We just choose to for a little additional difficulty, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I think that came about from my wrong music runs, where it's like people were pointing out that having the beat bars was cheating, so okay, fine.
Okay, something else about Sarks. Normally, you have to defeat the Sark before you can get to the exit, but Arya and on Coda, thankfully, you don't actually have to. I guess it's a little convenient. I think it's a leftover thing from a bug, so they just decided to make it. I don't know, it's just a nice little fix that they did. Oh, also, that skeleton was getting caught on an ice cauldron.
Yep. So Fortissimo is a very straightforward boss, and I'm going to say that what happens at the end is perfectly calculated. So, Wasi can talk about more details of the fight.
Yeah. Basically, you just want to kill all the enemies before you actually go after Fortissimo himself. So only need to kill this Yeti, and basically now we are safe to, well, almost safe. Okay, actually, never mind. I didn't think you had time to do it there. That was good. Basically, once you kill one of the skeletons on either side, Fortissimo will jump off. Now we are free to attack him. The only rapping mole in this game, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
All the other moles don't rap.
And yeah, that fight was perfectly calculated.
Yes. So Zone 2, not really that many unique things about it compared to the other zones. It does have more enemies than Zone 3 did, since the Zone Bleed feature includes Zone 3 enemies now. So in Zone 3, you only have Zone 3 and 4. Now we have Zone 2, 3, and 4. So just gotta watch out a little more. Be sure you're not accidentally slipping on ice that normally wouldn't be there. That mole there, you can't actually attack it until it's out of its hill. If you try bumping it when it's underground, that'll count as a missed beat.
Yep.
Gotta be a little careful on moles, I suppose.
For normal characters, that's not much, but for Arya, that's one hit, so one of the two hits.
Oh, that rider. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, situations like that, if handled improperly, it could very easily lead to death, but that was very well handled. Oh, that wall spike plus mushroom plus Yeti combination was kind of rude. I am still very glad that wall spikes are a new thing. So like, sure, they can be annoying sometimes, but at the same time, you can use them to your advantage. Like, that Minotaur got hit by it, so you had to hit it one less time.
Yep.
Okay, this is going to be the last normal boss fight we see until the golden loot at the end of the run.
Okay, so this is King Conga. It's a conga, so every 8th beat is a kick. I have to there's 2 conga lines that I have to kill everyone in, and then I can fight the boss. So.
Yeah, I appreciate the warning conga line in progress message. It's just one of the little silly things that this game has. This game has pretty good sense of humor. Oh.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is return to lobby. So I'm going to show off that fight done properly, because you can do this.
So yeah, King Konga. You just have to. I mean, normally. Oh, and other characters or other categories rather, you'll usually be able to just like spin a bomb to bomb King Konga, get him off the throne, fight him quicker. But we didn't have a bomb at the time, the previous run, so that wasn't really an option because you cannot get additional bombs low percent.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty straightforward fight. Gonna be going down to zone 1 now.
Yep, so the solution here is just to do single zones.
Right. Single zones is slightly different than all zones, but for all intents and purposes, it doesn't really matter.
So sometimes the exit's really close and things help.
Yeah. Pretty good layout. So yeah, every other character in the game starts in this zone. So normally this is like essentially the easiest zone, but on Arya, since it's the last zone, he has all the zone bleed. Every enemy in the game, well, almost every enemy in the game, minus zone 5 enemies and some exceptions, are here. So this zone 1 is gonna be a little more crowded than usual.
Yeah. It's especially unfortunate that Zone 1 has dire bats as this one. I'm not a fan of the bat enemies in this game. So bats move randomly, and so you can't ever predict what they're going to do. You just have to hope they cooperate.
Okay, right here, just the use of using enemies' items for advantage. Just killing that goblin bomber, bombing the skeleton below it.
Yep. Clearing out all the water too.
Yeah. Okay, so the next level, final fight in the game for Arya is the golden loot. So that should be coming up soon. I always enjoy whenever an enemy repeatedly bounces on a trap like that. It's a little silly, I like it. So this is our last mini boss. We didn't get any leprechauns, did we?
No.
I don't believe we did. Okay, so this is...
So there's a 1 in 4 chance that this fight goes on for a while, otherwise you get like free blink.
Yeah, so... Okay, thankfully we did not get one of the bad openings. It would be Skeleton Rider Spawn, which are an enemy that can move every beat. But yeah, fight's over.
Awesome.
That's it. Jeez.
Yep, so that's that. And then I'm going to show off something that I think a lot of people struggle with in low percent. So, yeah, that's time, by the way. Sorry,
Awesome.
it wasn't clear.
No
I'm
problem.
going to show off something that a lot of people struggle in low percent. This is one last thing, and this is the hardest Deep Blues fight. I think a lot of people think this is hard, and I don't think it's too bad. Just practice it. But you can't actually see this in a run. All the pieces have 2 health.
There's like a little easy strat that you could do to make this fight quicker, but that's not fun. Killing all the enemies is the way to do it, in my book.
So I'm going up to the top just because this is where the queens collect. Oh, God. And keep a beat. Save my life right now. So yeah. Here we go. Let's do this.
Yeah, I still think this fight is really fun. Just gets to show off a lot of different enemy patterns. Like, it has diagonal enemies, it has enemies that have really wide range. Every beat enemy is like these queens. It's just a pretty cool fight. Plus the song is great, so nothing about that. This is just a really good fight overall.
Okay, and that's it for me. So, thanks for having me on. It's a lot of fun. This is much more sensible than other runs I've done of this game, so I'm very glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much, RP. Can you tell us where to find you so we can see some more fun
stuff?
stuff?
I stream mostly Bridge, actually, at twitch.tv/rp2night. There's occasional NecroDancer and sometimes Octopath streams, but it's mostly Bridge on Thursday evenings. So
awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much. Well, stick around, everybody, because we are going to have another run coming up very shortly. But first, just a couple of announcements. Just a reminder that we have Frame Fatales coming up on Sunday, starting on August 21st and running until August 27th. Make sure to type !FF in the chat or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales to check out the schedule. It's going to be an incredible event. You will not want to miss it. Also, a friendly reminder, make sure to check out our highlights channel, which features standout moments from our Hotfix shows. Use !highlights in Twitch chat to learn more. Thanks so much, everyone. We're going to head on to a short break. And right after this, we're going to see Waski back with some Cadence of Hyrule. Hold tight, everybody. We'll catch you right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to She Is Speed. My name is Lana Roos, and I am your host for this evening. We are back with some more incredible runs for the next couple of hours. But first, just a couple announcements. Remember to check out @GamesDoneQuick on Instagram to get bite-sized clips from our Hotfix shows and see what happens at the events. And also, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support our weekly Hotfix content. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy these weekly Hotfix shows, like She Is Speed. So next up, we have a Cadence of Hyrule All Barriers and Castles run by Waski. I'll let her explain a little bit about it. Take it away.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Waski, she, her pronouns. I am going to be running this game, and I am here with...
Calaria, also she, her pronouns.
Yeah, so Cadence of Hyrule is very similar to the previous run you just saw, Crypt of the NecroDancer, but this is a crossover with The Legend of Zelda, so essentially you're going to be seeing the mechanics of NecroDancer, but with the enemies and the world of the Zelda universe. So it's a pretty fun game. Not really sure what else to say besides starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Good luck.
Yep, good luck. So, Cadence of Hyrule, featuring The Legend of Zelda, or Crypt of the NecroDancer featuring The Legend of Zelda, is a turn-based action-adventure with roguelike dungeon-delving elements, where every turn has a time limit based on the beat of the music, similar to NecroDancer, what you just saw. Whenever you make or don't make a move, all enemies make their move at the same time. At the beginning of the game, you get to choose either Zelda or Link, one of the two Hylians. We always choose Zelda for speedruns because of a number of things. For one, her innate defensive ability, Nehru's Love, is extremely overpowered. It's a protective spell for 2 beats. On the beat that you use it, you also deflect damage back at the enemy. Tower Shield. All right, that's pretty good. Can be useful for backup for one of the skips later.
Maybe I'll remember to use it in TOBS. I will probably forget.
Oh, yeah, two skips. So right now we're in Kakariko Crypt, which features the 1-1 music from Crypt of the NecroDancer. Did I see you take that Death Shrine?
Yes.
Okay, then.
I'll be fine.
Death Shrine, if you hit it, means that everything dies in one hit, including you. So, if Watsuki gets hit at any point while in this dungeon, she gets deaded. But also that means that she makes quick work of the mini-boss, the Shadow Link, right there. We need to kill that Shadow Link in order to get the Hibiscus Potion in order to wake up actual Link. So now we've got both Hylians, although for the most part we're not really going to see Link at all. Except for maybe a little bit in Tops. More on that later. So as we're going through, you can see and hear a particular sound that we call a bleep bloop. That is pausing and unpausing while traversing the overworld. And what that does is allows us to, because the music continues playing in the pause menu, if you have the right rhythm, then you're able to continue. You lose absolutely no time and get brief glimpses of the map. And we use that in order to figure out where we need to go. We already saw Kakariko, where we needed to complete one small mini dungeon. Watsuki's making her way over to the Lost Woods, where there will be another dungeon, and up where she got the loot from Cadence was Death Mountain, which also has a dungeon over on the other side called Temple of Storms. So right now, in the Symphony of the Skull DLC, as long as you're playing that DLC, then this little dark portal shows up behind Cadence in the forest cave. And that takes you to future Hyrule Overworld, which will have 2 more dungeons. Why do we need those?
Not a fan of this
Good question.
tree.
We are playing... Sorry, what?
I said I'm not a fan of this tree.
Yeah, that tree is kind of a troll. But yeah, we are doing, Watsuki is doing all barriers and castles, A, B, and C for short. There's a nice key there. We need, what's it? I believe it's like 8 or 9 keys in total. I tend to go with more. Yeah. It's like 5 for the 4 main dungeons plus Kakariko, another 3 for Hyrule Castle, and then another 1 or 2 if you want to get weapons from gold chests, which I know you tend not to as much as I do. But yeah, anyway, all barriers and castles. So the main goal of this category is to, well, basically it's an all dungeon or all main dungeons run. You have to get the 4 main instruments from the present Hyrule Overworld. There's another dungeon right there, Frozen Grotto. We are not entering that just yet, because Watsuki found the desert right here as well, and we're going to get some more useful items that help with doing some dungeon skips, skipping the first floor and going straight to the second. We got a little music puzzle here. It's always the same set of 8 notes: green, yellow, light blue, blue, and then green, yellow, light blue, blue once again. And that gets you the Power Glove. When you use it, you pick up whatever's in front of you, typically a lightweight item. If it's a heavier object on the ground, then you grab hold of it rather than lifting it above you. And it's useful for picking up pots, half blocks, and otherwise helping set up traversal. Making our way down to the desert dungeon, which is Gerudo Ruins. And then teleporting back to Frozen Grotto, which is the easiest dungeon to get into in order to get a couple of things. At least one more ABXY item, and a couple of probably. I'm not sure if you're gonna be killing Freddy here or not. Have we seen the Goron shop?
No, I'm slightly annoyed by that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The chance I don't do fireplace second.
Yeah, probably. Oh shoot, I missed what that was.
Anklet.
Oh, Anklet, awesome. So the Pegasus Anklet allows you to do either a 3 or 5 tile dash and bonking whatever you hit. That deals an extra, I believe, 2 damage typically to whatever you hit, and you can do that while sliding on ice. It is very good for speeding up the overworld traversal. Yep, Freddy had also transported over to Hyrule. I keep losing track. All berries and castles. We got to do all 4 of the present Hyrule instruments. Break down the present Hyrule barrier. Defeat Octavo. Go through future Hyrule Castle, and open the blue square portal in order to indicate that that barrier has been broken down and fully traversed. Then also, we have to defeat the 2 future Hyrule dungeons, that is Gerudo Arena and Temple of Brainstorms, and also open the future Hyrule barrier. Although we can do that just by teleporting to the Ganon portal, the Ganon Sheikah Stone, and just going to... What was that?
Yeah. Oh, out of the way.
Oh, you found Goron, but too late?
No, it's just out of the way.
Oh. You gonna consider doing it? So yeah, here's one of those temple level floor 2. Excuse me. Skips to floor 2. You place you can Pegasus Anklet over planted bombs, and thus allows you to get onto the other side of a planted bomb that then gets blown by the wind turbine, and then with the right, after one more move to the left, then it's a weird specific timing of when the wind turbine activates, when your bombs activate, and it allows you to skip having to go all the way through floor 1 and hitting a button that switches which turbine is on. So there we've killed Freddy, and now we've got a coupon. The next rupee purchase, that Waski makes will be completely discounted. If she uses that with another Freddy shopkeeper, Freddy knows exactly where you got it from and gets angry. But we're not going to be using it in a Freddy shopkeep. We're going to use it with the Goron shopkeep. Because the Goron shopkeeper has a very important item. This is Glockenspiel. With very... I'm not going to be able to time it right very well, but ding, ding, ding. It's one of the more fun songs that Danny Baranowski made. And yes, that is Danny Baranowski that made all of the music for this game as well. So if you want to listen to it, you officially have to get the game. Anyway, there's the bench. Just a bit of a meme in the NecroDancer Discord.
What am I doing?
That's a gauntlet. Wait, which gauntlet was that? I think that was
I could have avoided that altogether. It's more efficient to just go up from the beetle shop. I'm really glad I touched that stone. Gosh.
Yeah, that's good. So the Goron shopkeep has a Goron locket. In tandem with the Zora flippers, they allow us to swim in lava. Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering what you were doing. Yeah, Sawaski is coming over here. She saw on the map this distinct white circle with like a little diagonal slash through it. And that is where there is always going to be a torch of wisdom. Thus, now she knows exactly what is in all the chests, and can also find more wall keys.
Good shot.
So now we've oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I wanted Scroll of Need for later, so that was a good shot. Oh, don't.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you doing this?
No.
Lava is so silly. That's fine. It wasn't a death. They haven't quit.
Yeah, it's not a death. It's just a soft lock. You still get to keep all your stuff at least.
Yeah. Very glad of this. Finally getting good weapons. There's a rapier over there. I've been looking for them.
Oh, yeah.
Like
awesome.
Everything I've went for so far has been complete garbage. So that's good.
So that's one of what Waski just mentioned is the rapier, which is one of the many types of weapons in this game. The others being spear, flail, and broadsword for everybody. And then also Link has a unique weapon in the longsword, and Cadence has a unique weapon type in the Great Shovel, which unfortunately, as is wont for a lot of Zelda-based games, whoever the title character is either not usable or effectively not usable. Of the main three characters, she is not the community does not typically run Cadence, just because her weapon is not the best. So yeah, that was the base guitar most. They do a little can line all around. And now Waski is going to behind Hyrule Castle in order to infuse her rapier. So, with any permanent weapon type, not glass, you can do four different types of infusions. Ruby, emerald, titanium, or obsidian. You went with, yeah, I can see the little mark there. You went with obsidian, Waski went with obsidian, which means that her damage is tied to her beat modifier, similar to NecroDancer. So a rapier is, which we didn't actually see in the NecroDancer run. It is a move attack weapon, as we call it, i.e., if you move into in the direction, you can still do an attack while also moving along. You do not end up staying stationary, which is important for speed. We want to be moving our character more squares faster, while also still dealing with any enemies that get in our way. When Zelda does a lunge, where she hits the enemy 2 squares in front of her, that means that it'll deal 1 extra point of damage. Obsidian deals damage equal to the beat modifier. So you can tell what the beat modifier is when there is like no charge on that Triforce piece in the middle. Then she is at 0 beat modifier, or well, a 1x multiplier. When there's at least some amount of sparks, that means that she's on 2x multiplier, so she'll be doing 2 damage, which is the same as for titanium. And for when it's a rainbow charged Triforce piece, then she is dealing 3 damage for a 3 times multiplier. So now we've got Gomarakas, who has probably the most health of all the actual main bosses for any given phase, as well as across phases, especially on hard difficulty, or not necessarily hard difficulty, but the more powered up difficulty. When you the first 2 bosses you fight in normal mode, or normal in normal story mode, they will be on a easier difficulty. They will be slightly lighter colored typically, and have a lot less health and deal a lot less damage. However, after you defeat those 2, then all the other bosses get an upgrade, and so they take more damage. They deal more damage, have slightly different patterns, and deal a lot more damage. Anyway, we have broken down the present Hyrule barrier and are going through Hyrule Castle. This is the first full dungeon that we have to complete, and that means we've got 3 entire floors to go through, and we need 3 whole keys in order to open up the mini-boss rooms. Defeat 3 mini-bosses, and then take the stairs. And this is all just in order to get the big key. So, mapping in this dungeon, you can tell where we need to go on the 3rd floor because it'll have the wooden tile set instead of the, I don't know how you describe the blue tile set, but the blue tile set. And now we're making our way to Octavo.
Oh, I lost my beat.
So, Octavo has 5 phases. Each phase tied to one of the other present Hyrule instruments that you defeated, and he'll spawn a bunch of the little ads from that particular boss, and throw a bunch of fireballs at you, or knock you back if you get too close. So that was the Guitarmos Knights, and now we've got Gleox spawning. Up next are the Wizrobes. Also, for that little note pattern that she was dodging, whenever you see one note, you want to move to the side, one little hammer or dagger if you're playing as Link or any other non-Zelda character. Then you want to move to the side whenever you see no giant weapons or one giant weapon, and you want to move up when you see 3. And that's Octavo. Each of those phases had 5 HP, and then the final one had 6. And now into Future Hyrule Castle. This is 4 straight floors. So I did mention that this is a bit of a roguelike. This is where the roguelike aspect really takes place. Future Hyrule Castle is very much a NecroDancer style dungeon. The mini bosses are not locked behind key doors. They just are standing on the exit stairs and locking the stairs until you defeat them. Also, the theme of the Dark World. The theme of the Dark World.
Yeah.
had to throw that in. All the enemies are very much upgraded. All of the mini bosses are rather upgraded as well. I'm pretty sure almost all of them are on their maximum difficulty if they have difficulty scaling for that particular mini boss type. Oh, one other thing about the rapier that's interesting is if excuse me, if you cast Neru's Love on one beat and then do a lunge attack against an enemy, 2 squares away in order to do the typical lunge, then you end up doing the same thing that if you got the Royal Rapier by doing Zelda's Lullaby and being able to cross the gap in Hyrule Castle. So that's Future Hyrule Castle, all done. That's one castle and one barrier down. We got another, 2 castles and 1 barrier down. We need to get the other barrier, which means we need to do these 2 Future Hyrule dungeons. The Future Hyrule overworld is packed with a bunch of new enemies specific to the Symphony of the Mask DLC, such as ropes, gorillas, Taros, a lot of stuff very influenced by Zelda 2. Ryan Clark, what's his role at BYG?
What?
Never mind. I believe his role is lead developer or president or something like that. Main thing is, he was the original developer of NecroDancer, and I mean, the team has grown significantly since then. I don't even remember where I was going with that. Sorry about that, everyone. We're in Temple of Brainstorms. This is the puzzle dungeon. It is practically an entire mini Cadence of Hyrule experience, but specifically all the puzzles that you missed out on by expecting a Zelda-like game.
Got a map.
Oh, did we just get a map? Awesome! Heck yeah!
Yes, immediately getting a map is best item you can get by far in this place, so that's great. You can explain why it's so good?
Yep, okay. So yeah, she is doing a boulder puzzle, and this is one of the main reasons for having Din's Fire, is in order to cheat these boulder puzzles just a little bit, because some of them can be particularly rude.
Like this one? Never mind, I got it. God.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Faster, but I don't mind. The map is going to save
we got
so
a
much
bow
time.
out of it as well.
Yeah. The map's going to be saved so much time, so I don't even care that was a little slow.
So yeah, there's 4 or 5 different types of puzzles in this dungeon. We've seen, I think 2 or 3 of them so far. These 2 here have been flawless puzzles, where you have to not drop a beat, not take any damage, and kill all the enemies after you spawn them in. We've also got these ice Lizalfos puzzles, where you've got to kill all of the Lizalfos that are hiding behind ice blocks. A room full of ice blocks. And that's another place where using Din's Fire is extremely handy. Also, skipping this puzzle with all the wind. Or I guess it would be without wind. Anyway. Hi, Freddy. We're going to kill you again. Because you have the hover boots. This is the only way really to get hover boots besides getting extremely lucky with Scroll of Need and having also Torch a shovel, and a ring. Needless to say, you're probably not going to be getting such a thing too often. Boulder puzzles just roll things around. The puzzle you just saw with all those Armos statues, what that does is that type of puzzle is called a shoot. What am I forgetting? What type of puzzle it is? I have notes for this.
Like the timed one, I guess. Right?
Yeah, quick kills. That's what I like calling them, the quick kill puzzles, where you have to kill everything within a certain amount of time. So kind of like if you were around World of Warcraft around the time of Burning Crusade, Karazhan's Romeo and Juliet fight is one of those types of things. Then we got more here. This is a tier 3 one of those types of puzzles where you've got to kill 3 Hyrule guards. It is a relatively hard version of that puzzle. Same for the wire puzzle here. This is a Moblin wire puzzle. In order to solve the wire puzzle, you have to hit and electrocute enemies on the little circular nodes. When you do that, then it charges that particular node, and Moblins are extremely slow and like throwing their spears around. And there we go, we've got the uncharged synthesizer. We're going to switch to Link, who is actually the better character to go with for the Synth Rova fight. So, more wire puzzles, but a lot of them, and only one wire is charged at a time, except for later when 2 get charged at a time. We choose Link for this fight because his short sword has innate knockback. I won't go into the details of how knockback works in this game, but needless to say, it is extremely useful to have a way in order to charge more nodes than you typically would. It's faster. Thus, we choose Link and switch to Link in order to fight Synth-Rova. The other benefit is when you have a shield, which Link always will as long as you pick up the shield, the R button item. You can use that in order to push people around. And so you can put them into the right positions in order to... You're taking a lot of damage. 1 wire left. There we go. And you get 2 prizes out of defeating Temple of Brainstorms. Now we gotta make our way over to Gerudo Arena. Let's see. More overworld traversal. This is the River of Ice. And there is what we saw earlier. That is Ganon's castle. And that second barrier that we need to destroy for all barriers and castles. Gerudo Arena is pretty much just like a 5-floor gauntlet of defeating enemies as quickly as you can. However, they only spawn in about like 1 at a time. Once every like 2 beats, up to a certain cap for the level. Equipping the bow in order to shoot enemies that are across the way. Same with the anklet. It allows us to move across the arena faster. Also those giant bats are Vires, and when they are hit without piercing or explosions, Neru's Love counts as a piercing source of damage. Then they explode into a bunch of what are the bats called in Zelda? Keys. Yeah, keys. So if this were a marathon, this would be the time in order to get a bunch of donations in. But I could also go into just other stuff about the game. Or any questions so far?
I think one I always love to ask is just if someone were to want to get into the game, where is a good place to start?
A good place to start would be, I should have had this pulled up. I've been busy with trying to get myself ready for a move. I believe, well, the base website that you can go to is condor.live, www.condor.live, like the bird. And you can find links to our racing Discord, our casual, like a tournament Discord, the discussion Discord, and I believe also the casual races Discord. And actually, as long as I'm not in the middle of a mood or of a move, or preparing for Flame Fatales coming up pretty darn soon. We typically hold a particular casual racing event on the Casual Races Discord called Wrench in order to keep up with the bird theme. That is weekly races for everyone in Cadence of Hyrule, where the N is brought in by the IN of in. Anyway, yeah, there's no streaming requirement whatsoever. It is the equivalent of Crow that Spooty Biscuit started years ago. And Spooty stopped wanting to necessarily do Cadence of Hyrule. Perfectly fine, is his choice to do anything with that. But I wanted to continue it. Watsky wanted to continue with it, and at least one or two other people wanted to continue racing, and so I came up with the name Wrench in order to come up with a cleverish bird pun, the bird being a wren. And anyway, like I was saying, it is no streaming requirement whatsoever. You can just go to the Discord, and we've got like a little racing bot that you can freely start new race rooms at any time. You don't have to do it specifically for Wrench per se. But yeah, we typically hold those every Thursday evening, starting around what is it now? 9 p.m. Eastern, and going for about 2 hours. And also, we would normally do also Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern. And try and do that every week. We sometimes slip on the hours, but we always end at around the same time. Anyway, this is King Dobongo. Dobongo. I've got a little emote there in the chat for everyone. And that's King Dobongo. He just paces back and forth, opens his mouth, you gotta kick bombs into his mouth. That is the only way to damage him, unlike with most other bosses where there are other options in order to kill him. Anyway, that is the second barrier down, and so now we're on to the Ganon fight. And time will be when all three characters in the third phase are standing on a Triforce piece and have the all three Triforce pieces lit. Already on to phase 2.
That's some nice fast mashing there on a Link. You can explain that, I guess.
There's a little bit of a, I don't know if it's like a glitch or exploit, but you can effectively go faster than fixed beat movement in when your main character is stunned from hitting the Ganon's shield.
That is time, by the way.
Yep,
Awesome.
GG.
GG. Great, that was super fun.
Yeah.
So, Waski, you'd also mentioned continuing to showcase a little bit. We have about like 10-ish minutes or so. Do you want to continue with that?
Yeah, sure. So what I'm going to be doing is fixed beat puzzle mode, specifically on Zelda. It is, in my opinion, one of my favorite categories. Well, it's one of my favorite categories in the game. It is the Temple of Brainstorms that we saw in this run, but with an extra floor. But we're also going to be doing it on fixed speed, so it's going to be ideally pretty fast. So I'm just going to be starting that. 3, 2, 1, go again.
Yep. So, like Waski was saying, puzzle mode is a 4-floor version of Temple of Brainstorms. So there's a lot more puzzles that you have to worry about, more boulders, more wires. More flawless puzzles, all those puzzles that I mentioned before. However, you do not enter with like any sort of build. In like story mode, if you enter Temple of Brainstorms, you can at least bring in like your weapons and your abilities. Here, you have to find even your R and L abilities in what we call junctions. Which are the breaking points between the tiers of puzzle. And you can sort of tell what tier a puzzle is by the number of diamonds that it drops, if it drops diamonds. Otherwise, there's like a grouping of what the different puzzle tiers are, and it just determines what the difficulty is. All right, we got Neru's Love already. On top of having 4 floors, also the Synthroba fight is blocked off by a boss key door. So not only does Waski have to find the boss key, I ruined the bit. So not only does Waski have to find the unpowered synth, she also has to Waski has to find the boss key. With fixed beat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say a little unfortunate thing about puzzle mode is sometimes you can get dead-ended like that. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Iron Boots being good for once. Oh my god.
Hey, there we go. Rito's Feather is not useless, Amali. In puzzle mode, there are a couple of use cases for it. But for the most part, it's only all that useful for speed purposes. You can use it in order to enable yourself to reach higher ground and thus like walk on walls. If you Rito Feather onto an enemy and then off of that enemy onto a wall, then you can do what we call wall adventures, and that allows you to skip a lot of the dungeon floors. Hey, there's the Goron shop in here. Having bombs and bomb shoes is extremely important for skips in this dungeon. Oh, we're already on tier 3 puzzles. Awesome. We got that Moblin wire puzzle already.
There's a little shortcut, yeah.
Yep. I didn't notice that it was a shortcut. It's a little choppy for me, but that's fine. The Isla Zolfos puzzles for Tier 3 tend to require some sort of item, either like a way in order to explode things with like bombs and bomb shoes, having a fire source via fire arrows or fire rod, fire rod being the better of the two, or a bow. Hammer is a very, very distant backup.
Oh my god, this seat's bad.
Oh no.
That's fine. Means I should be getting close to the exit, I hope. Or the Centaur key.
Oh no, not another Isla Zolfos.
That one wasn't. You're kidding me!
Oh no! It was right there.
That's honestly hilarious.
The shortcut took you right there, and then you went away from it.
Always punished. Okay, this seat's not as bad anymore. That was funny though.
There we go.
Ideally, I'm gonna find the boss rooms. Okay, cool. Oh god, if I had
there
one
it
extra
is.
if I had one
If you only had the hovers.
or the hovers.
Or extra bomb.
It'll be fine. This is definitely okay, yeah. Okay. I literally only need
There we go.
Okay, the front
Now I just need the boss key.
Over. I'm gonna check for a shortcut. I'm probably not gonna get one. Oh, whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna bother. I just need to do this boulder puzzle. Fairly certain. No, time one.
Yeah, it just looks like a time consumer.
Best way to do this? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm ready first. Actually, don't think I care. This one. Okay, I know how I'm gonna solve this. It's just fine.
Yeah. So yes, this is no beat / what in Cadence of Hyrule it's called fixed beat. And yeah, if you're playing this game and you come across boulder puzzles for the first time, one of the main one of the main tricks, I guess, to consider is that ring around the rosy thing. There are sometimes faster ways to go about it. Ooh, the rope wire puzzle. Ropes are we haven't quite figured out how the AI for them works entirely properly. I mean, it works properly. It's just we haven't entirely figured it out.
Right.
It just requires a little spare time, and there's the boss key for the WAS key.
Thank you. I'm always a fan of that joke. Okay, this is my favorite fight out of both NecroDancer and Cadence of Hyrule.
It's a very fun fight and goes a lot faster in fixed beat mode.
I gotta heal. Oh, I got a shovel. Never mind. I'm silly. I thought I had one less. I thought I had one less heart than I actually did. Okay, that's fine. I'll just take my time. Okay, and that is time. Yeah.
Yay, GG.
Yeah. So puzzle mode, my favorite category in the game. Very fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Wasky. Do you want to give us a little bit of information on where to find you and any other sign-off stuff?
I normally stream on just Twitch/WasKilledBy. Ever since the Synchrony DLC, as mentioned earlier, I've been playing that game a lot more than this game. Anything you want to say, Kylaria, before we head out?
Yeah, just more shout outs to the Condor community. That is the Crypt of the NecroDancer online racing community. Definitely tune in to my channel, twitch.tv/Kylaria. You can also find me on Twitter at Kylaria1001. Although I tend to retweet a lot of political stuff, so maybe don't necessarily if you don't care for some of it. But otherwise, we do Wrench, like I said, every Thursday evening and Sunday morning. Definitely also tune in to Flame Fatales next week.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you two. That was such an incredible showcase of the run, and it was such a pleasure to have Cadence of Hyrule on. So we're just going to be heading to a short break. We've been going through crypts, we've been going through castles, and next we're going to be going through some tombs with Tomb Raider 2 and Vexkey. So hold on tight, everybody. We're going to be taking a short break, and after this, we're going to see some Tomb Raider, and it's going to be incredible. We'll catch you right after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to She Is Speed. This is a Hotfix show where we feature women in speedrunning who run games with female protagonists. So we just finished up with some Cadence of Hyrule. And next up, we have a Tomb Raider 2 any % run from Vexkey. I'm going to get her to introduce it, and we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, okay,
take it away.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Vexkey. I'll be taking you on a guided tour of Tomb Raider 2 with Lara Croft. Quite a glitchy one. And I have Mr. Tailor-made Aiden Taylor, sorry. Quite a mouthful that with me, if you'd like to say hey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, a fellow speedrunner. Very good at the game, also. So yeah, I'm just going to get going. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Wishing you all the best.
Thank you. It also is like 5 a.m. for us as well. Just to get that in there.
Yes,
in
good
case
morning to
anything
you
goes
both.
wrong. I'm not going to blame it on that. Yeah, so we're thrown into the Great Wall of China. Just did a little corner bug. Can you explain corner bugs, Taylor?
Sure, so when you do a standing jump, Lara moves forward slightly, and if you do this a couple of times, she embeds herself into the wall, and from there we can turn and push ourselves further in, and the game gets confused, doesn't know what to do. So to try correct that, it puts us in this highest point that we can walk on. So it just pushes us up and puts us on there that we can start running.
Yeah, cool. You'll see that like a couple of times in the run. It's also, there's a similar glitch in Tomb Raider 1 as well, so some of the glitches will carry over from that game, if you're at all familiar with it.
All the classic Tomb Raiders have, that corner bug. It's easier in the later ones when you can do like the crouch turns.
Yeah. It's Tomb Raider 2. It's the same engine. There's a couple new mechanics, so you can like jump twist in the air, which is a new thing, which is pretty fun to do. Probably my favourite addition to Tomb Raider 2. And flares are a new addition as well. So I'm holding a flare right now. When I was in the water and I picked up that key, if you pick up a flare, then it's like it's a free flare, so it doesn't count towards the flares in your inventory, which is quite nice. And we're going to use that in a second to do a flare cancel, which cancels the stumble animation.
That saves a lot of time in the long run.
Yeah, it's quite small saves, but it adds up, definitely. It also it makes Lara look a lot less clumsy, which is why I like it. Because Lara falls from certain heights and she'll always stumble. Some of them you can cancel just by holding action at the right time, but all of them you can cancel with a flare. I think it makes it look a bit fancy. And who knew that the Great Wall of China was so deadly? Just death traps everywhere. Get ready for it. So there aren't too many glitches in this level, but there's a lot of spikes, boulders, all kinds of stuff trying to kill Lara right now.
Yeah, we're here to collect a dagger that was used when someone stabs themselves. I think they become a dragon.
Yeah, they stab themselves in the heart.
Yeah, so we're going to find that. And death is everywhere in Tomb Raider.
That's like, these runs are quite scary because I wouldn't say the run itself is super difficult. I'm going to pick up this med just for safety, even though it looks quite a dangerous med to pick up. Yeah, like, I think the glitches are fairly easy to perform. There are more difficult ways of doing them. Like, you can YOLO a lot of them to go a bit faster. But there are also a lot of consistent setups that make the run quite easy. But at the same time, Lara likes to do her own thing, and we could die at any moment, basically.
That's one of the things I like about the run is you can do a variety of things in different ways, depending on how comfortable you are.
Like, advanced level runs are very impressive because Lara will just be walking up to walls and like glitching right through them. But you're gonna see a few sort of slower setups in this run just for consistency's sake, mainly. There's a glitch. I don't really know how to explain that one. All the glitches kind of work similarly. We like embed Lara in the wall and the game tries to figure out what to do with her. It usually pushes her upwards if there's space to go up.
Wherever there's a corner, we'll find a way in there.
Venice is quite an interesting level. Did you ever run this glitchless, Taylor?
Yes, I did a little bit.
You know the glitchless skip for the boat?
Yeah, so that was, I think when this was running at GDQ, that was still used for glitch runs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't know how to skip the door. It used to be that we'd have to go into a room and it would activate the door to exit the level. And then there was a button that you thought you had to push.
Yeah, it's quite funny that there's a button. People might remember this particular level quite well because I think this was on a demo. Could be wrong, but I think this level was on a demo disc back in the day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a button that supposedly opens the level to the door at the end of the level. Sorry, and but it doesn't. Actually, the button does nothing. I think there's a ramp that you run over that actually opens the door.
I think the button actually starts the timer to close it. I think.
It's either that or I think it's if you run back over the ramp is what causes the timer to activate. It's something really silly like that. And if you don't run back over the ramp, then the door just stays open. You don't need to worry about it. But because this is glitch, we actually do have a glitch now to get through this door. This is quite a weird one.
I don't know how to explain this one.
I don't either. I'm going to drop a flare there. And I'm going to get Lara into this weird state where she's like, oh, hold on. Not quite done that right. Do that again. The game's going to sort of think that Lara's underwater. And we're going to grab this flare on the way back and it should... Oh, I've messed it up. Hang on. It should, in theory, push us underneath the door into the next level, if I can get it right. There we go.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Very weird glitch, that one. There's a couple different ways to do it as well. You can just... you don't have to necessarily drop the flare, I don't think. You can just, like, rub into the door. And sometimes she goes through it, sometimes she doesn't. It's a bit inconsistent. So the other thing...
Shelf bug, sorry?
Shelf... Is it shelf bug? Step bug.
Yeah. There's so many glitches in this game.
Yeah, I think Taylor we were speaking about this one the other day, and we were speaking about like the difference between this game and Tomb Raider 2, and Tomb Raider 1, sorry. And it's like one of the main differences in the speedruns is that this game has a lot of different glitches going on. Tomb Raider 1 has like a lot of the same glitches over and over. This game does have a lot of similar glitches, but there are a lot of like random, wacky, different glitches as well.
And the setup for every glitch is slightly different as well. While
Yeah.
in Tomb Raider 1, you could pretty much kind of do the same setup and
They're
it
all
would work for
basically
most
the
of them.
same, yeah.
Yeah.
Still a difficult run though, but I'd say each game gets more difficult as they go along. Tomb Raider 3 is a totally other kettle of fish as well. That game's really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if we explained as well why we skipped straight from the Great Wall of China to Italy, to Venice.
So when we got to the Great Wall, we came to a door and it was locked, and there was a cultist there, and the cult leader is Marco Bartoli.
Yeah.
And they're saying that we need the right key to get in. So we've gone to Italy to find Marco Bartoli.
Yeah, because essentially Lara's not the only one that's looking for this dagger. There's also an Italian cult that also want the dagger to cause some mischief with. So we've tracked them down to Italy. Yeah. Oh, I messed this up because I got a shotgun instead of pistols. Hang on. There we go.
This is another instance of we're going to embed ourselves in a wall and then it's going to push us up, but it does take a bit of a setup.
There we go.
There we go. Yep.
Got there in the end. But yeah, so coming up to the end of this level, and then we've one more level of Italy,
Yes. Opera House.
which is quite a big level casually, but we have like two sort of main skips that are gonna shorten this level by quite a bit.
Yeah, and the bigger skip isn't even necessarily a glitch, is it? It's just
No,
a very
it's just
clever jump.
Yeah, it's what we call a banana jump, which is my favorite. It's just a curve jump. The devs didn't really expect you to ever curve in there because the game's very square. And you can skip quite a bit actually with curve jumps. Yeah, so this is the first main skip, which is just a step bug, which we also saw in Bartoli's hideout.
Yeah, it's like rubbing up against the seam between two tiles, and Lara just sort of manages to squeeze in, and again, the game just pushes you through because
Yeah.
it gets confused.
Lara has her own physics. She doesn't need to pay attention to no walls.
Exactly.
I'm going to save it just in case I mess up this drop. This is a weird drop because if you roll into it and grab, you can usually avoid the glass. But I think if you back up into it and grab, she dies for some reason. She doesn't go forward enough.
Yeah, the momentum's different. And again,
I learned that the hard way a few times. Killed a few runs that way.
Death is everywhere in Tomb Raider.
It really is. But yeah, so this is the banana jump. It's just a curve jump, essentially, that skips like the entirety of the rest of the level.
Nicely done.
Thank you, thank you.
So there are two categories for this game, main ones. You've got glitchless and glitched, and that banana jump is not a glitch, so you can skip most of this level if you do the glitchless category.
Yeah. And now we're going to sneak onto a seaplane, which points to you as well if you can guess who the lady is on the side of this plane.
We were doing research earlier,
Yeah,
weren't we?
we were researching that earlier. It's very random. I thought it would be a video game character, but it's not.
Yeah, and I couldn't find the explanation as to why it is who it is.
No, I remember seeing it ages ago on like a random facts video about Tomb Raider, but I totally forgot. It's Barbarella, by the way, if anyone was interested. I don't know if anyone in chat knew that, but yeah, very random.
So yeah, on the plane, we were listening into two of the cultist members talking about an item when we were attacked, and we woke up here on an oil rig, is it?
Yeah, I believe so. Offshore rig, this level's called. It's one of those classic levels where Lara loses all her stuff. Except she doesn't actually. They let us keep our medkits and stuff on this one. We just lose our pistols, which is still rather annoying. We're going to try and get those back ASAP.
Lara just rolled through a window there again. Windows, walls.
I don't even realize I'm doing glitches sometimes because I've ran this for so long. It's just normal to me.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, I just forget to explain things. But yeah, you can just roll through windows. That's the thing. So now we got our pistols back. We can cause a bit of mischief of our own. Oh, I'm gone. Back up, Lara. There we go.
So in this level, I think for most of the water levels, there's two kinds of enemies. You've got melee and you've got ranged. And the ranged guys either have machine guns, shotguns, or flamethrowers, and they're very random in their movements. But the melee guys, we can consistently manipulate because they will just follow Lara wherever she goes. And we use that you'll see it later on, we'll use that to glitch it through walls again.
Yeah. So here we're going to do quite a big skip as well. We're going to do a quap, which the quap has, I would say, revolutionized Tomb Raider speedrunning over the past few years.
Yeah, it completely changed. It's probably the most important glitch, I think, in Tomb Raider.
It's shaved a lot of time off the first 3 games. Glitched 20% anyway.
Yeah, the game gets confused because, as you saw, Lara sort of jumped as she was going down a step. So the game doesn't know what Lara's trying to do. Is she trying to jump or is she going down? So it gets confused, and we use that to then go under a door by holding the action button. And the game sort of pushes Lara down and forward at the same time. That allows us to go through these doors.
Yeah, it's named after the Bennett Foddy game because he sort of does similar running animation in that. And in Tomb Raider 3, you can do it backwards, and we call it a PALC. It's just co-op spelled backwards. I really like.
If you want to learn about like the really technical aspects of it, iCore has made a YouTube video about it. It's about half an hour long and explains the history and how it works.
Oh, really? Of co-op?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
This is a flicker, so kind of similar in theory to the corner bug. Lara gets stuck in the wall because there's nowhere to go upwards, so it just kind of pushes her along a bit, and then we needed to rearrange the angle and hold roll, and it pushes her all the way along, so we can just skip to the end of this level.
That's
normally
one of my favourite glitches.
I like that one. It's a bit of a pain sometimes to perform just because of that guy doesn't always want to land where you need him to land. You need him to land quite close to the wall so that you get deep in bed. But yeah, it's quite a fun glitch, that one.
Do you have a favourite glitch in this game?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll go with that one. I quite like that one.
Yeah.
What about you?
That first quap.
Yeah, quaps are fun. The first time you ever get a quap, you pull it off is really fun.
Yeah, we get 2 more in this level as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna load that. Sometimes if you take a little pot shot at the enemies, it just completely messes with their AI. They don't know what they're doing anymore.
Nice grab.
I felt like I might be off, so I curved a little bit. I knew I wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
This is a ladder to rival. Is it MGS3 that has the really big ladder?
Yes. But you can't do this in MGS3.
Can't do that in MGS3.
No. It's literally a minute long, I think, if you climb that ladder.
Yeah, glitchless. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that, we can just skip it completely. So, again, with the movement mechanics, if you release... So as you go to climb up, Lara swings her legs, and if you release it and hold a direction, Lara will turn and embed herself in the wall, and again, you just turn.
That was so sketchy.
Forward.
Did you see that then? I thought he was going to knock me off.
I did get a bit scared then.
I was trying not to hold any direction. Praying
you did
for
well.
Oh,
you handled that very well.
That was scary. Yeah, so this level, we only need to collect one key card. Normally there'd be like, you need to collect a bunch of things to complete the level, but because of QWOP, we just need the one. Also, this ladder it takes way longer to climb up, so we drop down to the bottom and glitch again. Seems counterintuitive, but it's a really long ladder. But yeah, so we're going to put this key card in over here. Open this first door. Why can't we crop through this first door? It's just not open.
I don't
I've
know.
never actually tried, but
I think in the explanation, Icor mentions how the game, when you load a level, it doesn't load the entire level, it loads it in sections. And each section loads as you go through what are known as portals.
Yeah.
QWOPs activate as you go through a portal, so maybe that door doesn't count as one.
Right, yeah.
But QWOPs, Bexy's just done one there. They always last 8 seconds, so we need to time this perfectly to get to this door at 8 seconds. We can do that. And well done.
Yeah, there's always a risk as well. I mean, there's a risk that you just might not make it through the door, which isn't too bad because you can just go and reset the QWOP. But there's also a risk if you mistime it. Oh, Lara, what are you doing? There's a risk that you'll enter a void and you'll just soft lock. You'll just get stuck in no man's land, which is... We don't want that. So we've got to be quite careful with the timing of some of these.
You like this background noise as well?
Oh, yeah. Sounds to sleep to.
So you mentioned soft locking. With all the clipping that Lara does, is that something that is pretty common with the game or a worry, or how is that?
In certain spots, yeah, it can be. There's a glitch that I did at the beginning, which I didn't really explain, called a crack bug, where when a block meets a wall, you can jump through the crack of it. Works the same in Tomb Raider 1 as well. But if you jump at it, you have to jump at it really close to the blocks. If you jump at it from a distance, there's a real danger that you will void.
Nice.
And soft lock the game. So yeah, it can happen.
Slightly temperamental then.
Yeah. This is some excellent dialogue.
What do you want? Come on, stick to your stomach.
Stick to your stomach.
I love this bit so much.
So great. What were these guys up to, Taylor?
Do you want my actual answer or a joke?
Go on. Hit me with the joke first.
I don't know. I can't think of one.
We just got a long swimming sequence here.
Yeah, so that was a Tibetan monk that was talking, if you couldn't tell by the amazing accent. So the dagger has been protected by
Brother
Tibetan
Chen.
monks. Brother Chen, yeah. So the cult have tracked down some of these Tibetan monks, and they're trying to find out where an item known as the Seraph is. And
yeah, because that'll help us get to the dagger.
Yeah, and the Seraph was on a boat, this boat, which was owned by Marco Bartoli's grandmother, I think.
Yeah, it was the Maria Doria. It's the one that sang. We've not quite made it to there yet, but
yeah. So the monks sank the ship, so the Seraph would be buried underwater, and no one could get to it. But Bartoli has been sending submarines down. Lara has climbed onto one of the submarines.
Lara's got some balls though, like just clinging onto a submarine. She's got no breathing equipment.
Yeah, throughout the whole cutscene, she just sort of holds her nose and that stops her.
What are you doing, girl? She's got a death wish for sure.
I'm going to try that next time I go swimming, just hold my nose, see if it lasts as long.
Yeah, she just rides the submarine all the way down here.
40 fathoms, apparently.
Yeah, she gets away with it. So coming up, there would be quite a lengthy sequence here to turn off these flames here. And it's also timed, which is a bit annoying. But we can just brute force our way through it.
Yeah.
Didn't do that the best, but no, we're okay. But yeah, that flame trap, if you do it the intended way, it's very frustrating.
Yeah,
I think there's at least 2 levers you've got to pull, maybe 3. Turn them all off, and they're all timed as well, so you got to do them in the right order. The room is very confusing as well to navigate, at least for me. But I'd get lost in a paper bag, so... I'm going to save here just because this drop can be a bit annoying if you mess it up and you slide down the left side.
The flare cancels are really easy to pull off in this game as well, compared to like later Tomb Raiders. They're very hard. This one, you just simply press the button during a stumble, it cancels the animation, and you just keep moving.
Yeah, you can pretty much just press the flare mid-fall and it'll work. Try that one at home. So coming up as well, we've got a dive bug. So I believe, is this room meant to be full of water?
Yeah, we fill it full of water after opening a door so that we can swim through the door.
Yeah, so that's the intended way. So this is going to be quite a height. So you would normally die. But the dive bug, the essence of it is that if you land and you hit the wall and the floor at the same time, it just cancels out all the fall damage.
You sort of hit the wall and the floor at the same time, don't you? And it sort of just cancels each other out because it doesn't know what to do. We like to confuse the game a lot to get away with stuff.
Yeah. We do get away with quite a lot. Is this the first time we see a frogman in this game? These guys are terrifying. They used to scare me a lot as a kid.
It's the breathing, isn't it?
It's the breathing. It's so creepy. I will be saves coming quite a lot throughout this run because, like we said earlier, death is everywhere. Also, if I mess up like that, I need to try and be careful here. Because if you fail this little strat, I need to roll as she's standing up so I can grab onto that. And I save myself a lot of fall damage, which is quite important because there's a level right at the end of the game where we totally brute force ourselves in a room full of a lot of enemies that are very much out to kill Lara. So we need to make sure we have at least a few med packs left at the end of the game for that. Med management is quite an important part of this run. Right, so this guy with the wrench I'm going to leave alive for now. See why in a second.
Yeah, the game can be generous as well, so at the beginning of every level we start with full health.
Yeah. Oh god, it would be a nightmare if we didn't.
Yeah.
That'd be awful. So we want this guy to be as close to the wall as possible. And hopefully he's landed and left that med pack in a good spot for us so that we can glitch up to where the lever is.
Yeah, so the animation to pick up the item, to make it happen, it moves Lara to a certain distance away from it, which happens to be where the wall is.
Yeah. And takes away a lot of the puzzle and platforming element of this game.
Yeah, like you're supposed to collect 3 keys throughout one half of the level to go back here to use them to get to this bit, but Lara doesn't want to do anything with that.
Nah, mate. Can't be bothered. Way too much effort. I do feel, we were talking about this earlier as well, I do feel like speedrunning these games has made me quite impatient when it comes to playing them casually. Because we skip like pretty much 90% of the platforming, I'd say. Don't do any of the puzzles.
Yeah, like some of these levels can take like up to like 40 minutes, but with glitches and that, you just cut out all of it.
It's a very fun game to run though.
Yeah.
The glitches are very fun to do. And the movement, if you want to run glitchless as well, the movement is it's fun. It's tricky. I think glitchless is actually harder than glitched.
Yeah.
Just because the platforming is so difficult.
And it's a much longer run.
Yeah.
And like with glitched, like say you can do certain glitches depending on how comfortable you are with them, so you can make it as hard or as easy as you want it to be. With glitchless, you're kind of forced to just play the game.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, there's no real big skips you can do.
No, there's a lot of little skips.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's this bed of water out there that's shark infested. But it also has a key that we need, so we gotta go swimming. Swimming with the sharks. Hopefully I don't get eaten. These barracudas are hungry as well sometimes.
That's a good shark, though. You got both of them early on. Sometimes one of them can just hide behind this
Sneak
rock.
up on you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so many runs died to that.
Oh, God. Oh, sugar. I know we're okay.
So how do you get the free flare? Is that you press the button as you're picking up the key?
Yeah. And it's just nice because it doesn't... I mean, I don't think flare... I think the game's quite generous with flares anyway, so we never really risk running out.
No. You can tell when it's
this route.
You can tell when it's a free flare because in the hand it's not actually a flare, but the fire's there.
Yeah.
If it's a normal flare, you should see some red there.
Yeah, we've got to be quite careful as well, because I'm going to use this to do a flare cancel. But if I'm really slow and I don't make it there in time, she may drop it a bit early, which will just screw up my jump and potentially send me to my death.
Yeah, the animation when a flare runs out is
go.
very long, and
Yeah.
you can try grab or anything. She won't do anything till she throws that flare away.
Yeah, you'll notice sometimes I'm like grabbing as I'm falling, and that kind of pushes Lara forward. So that helps us make it to certain places. I'm gonna save her just because my health's a bit sketchy. There's a lot of deadly fishes. I don't even know what kind of fish. What are these?
Eels?
Are they?
I don't know.
Big fat eels.
Yeah, yellow eels too. Everything wants Lara, though, don't they? What?
Yeah, so this level starts with water. It has a bit of a current, and there's a trapdoor here. You might panic and think, where the hell am I meant to go? But there is a lever that you pass about halfway. I'm going to try and get this glitch, though. We can glitch through it. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, first try. Nicely done.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting that first try in practice, but nailed it this time.
Yeah.
I need that med pack more than you, thank you. Alright, so we're going for another sequence break. This level's pretty interesting casually. There's these things in the middle of the room that you would move up and down normally to like navigate around.
You have to like switch off fire, get some doors open, move some blocks around to get these pistons to move, so you can jump on the pistons to get to this switch. But
very
you don't want to do
long-winded.
that. Yeah.
And you'll notice that we've kind of sequence broke it in a minute because there will be some underwater flames.
Yeah, you kind of saw that as well in Offshore Rig, where there was just... Was it Offshore Rig?
There it is. Oh.
Was Fathoms, wasn't it? Where there was just a wall of water.
Yeah,
you
just a
run
wall of
into.
water, yeah. I forgot to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were meant to have filled up that entire area with water, but...
You're moving so fast, it's... Yeah.
It's hard to keep up. I love how the world's just against them. Why does everyone want to kill Lara? What's she done wrong?
That is a big eel.
That's a big eel. Gonna try really carefully not to get eaten by it.
That takes out a lot of health as well if you
Yeah.
forget it's there.
Have you done that before? You sound like you've done that before.
Oh, yes.
It is mad the amount of different things that can kill a run when you run Tomb Raider 2.
Yup.
So Bexky, I'm always curious. I love to ask people just what inspired you to get into Tomb Raider running, and what do you still love about it? Like, what started your love and what kept your love going?
Yeah, well, these games are very nostalgic to me. I used to play them with my dad when I was younger. And I actually started... hang on, I'm messing up this glitch. I actually started with Resident Evil speedrunning initially, and then I wanted a new challenge, so I thought I'd have a go at Tomb Raider. I think it might have actually been around the time that Smooth Operative was learning Tomb Raider 2. She inspired me to learn a Tomb Raider game, and I originally learned Tomb Raider 1 first. And it was really fun. It was a big breath of fresh air. It's very different to Resident Evil speedrunning. And yeah, I just think they're really fun games to run. The glitches are really fun to perform. Lara is so cool as a character as well. She's one of my favorite video game characters. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool.
What about you, Taylor? What inspired you?
It was your run at GDQ of Tomb Raider 1.
I didn't actually know that. I wasn't digging for compliment.
I was doing time trials of Crash Bandicoot, and I was thinking of running that, and then I saw your run of Tomb Raider, and I was like, I really like Tomb Raider 2, so I decided to go with that one because that was the game I knew more.
That's awesome.
And I like, again, the variety of glitches in this is more interesting to me.
Yeah, they're really fun. I mean, I started with glitchless initially because I was quite intimidated by the glitches in this game. But I don't know, once you get started with them, they're not too bad. There's a lot of, the Tomb Raider community has put together a lot of really good tutorials and stuff for this game as well. So if you were interested in learning it, there's a lot of material out there to learn from.
This is another instance of the melee enemy. We're going to manipulate him to move where we need him to be. So they always, when they need to turn around, they always move in a weird arch, and we know that. So if we jump a certain way, then he'll move closer to the wall, and we can embed ourselves by picking up the item that they drop.
Get some new moves.
And this is a very long-winded level. We've skipped like 80-90% of it.
Yeah, there is a glitch that saves a bit of time compared to that one called the clamp.
Correct.
But it's very tricky to pull off, or I find it tricky anyway. But that glitch basically teleports you right up to where the key is. So it's nice if you can get it.
It used to be a quap to get up there as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, I used to like the quap. I was really sad because there's a man with a flamethrower right there. Oh, okay. Dodge that one. I think I might have. Yeah.
Well.
I knew as soon as I was about to say that. I think I might have jumped a little early.
Again, death is everywhere in Tomb Raider.
Oh dear, I was panicking too hard because of the flamethrower guy. I hope he's not there again.
Yeah, if he catches you with his flamethrower, can you put
it's over. I don't think you can. I don't think there's a water nearby. Basically, the only way to get through that is to either spam meds until the end of the level, which we just wouldn't have enough.
No.
Or
health drains so quickly with that weapon.
Yeah, or you'd have to find some water to cool Lara off in, but I don't think there's any nearby. Right, let's save here this time. Hopefully it's not there again.
He shouldn't be. Like, the RNG for him is just so wild that the odds of that happening again are, I don't want to say.
Yeah, he's chilling a bit further away this time, that's fine.
But there are 2 more coming up that we need to get before they get us.
Yeah, basically we're going to just ambush them. So before they can even think about pointing that flamethrower at us, we got him. And in this room is the Seraph that we've been looking for. Randomly, just chilling over here. Right, and now we're in Tibet.
I have to say that was an incredible transition. Phenomenal to watch.
One thing that I do love about this game is the outfit changes, though. Lara's styling in this game. I love this jacket. I love how she doesn't worry about her legs being cold, though. Only the arms.
I'm just really happy she put shoes on. I was starting to feel bad for her feet.
Yeah, everyone always says that, running over the rusty old platforms. Hope she's had her tetanus shot. Right, so Tibet. This is a hell of a level.
Is this the longest level?
Potentially.
Yeah. We need a key to get in that building to open the door for that cave that we're looking at right now, and we haven't got a way of skipping it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are ready for this jam, by the way. Bit of nonsense.
The ding-dings.
The ding-dings, yeah. But yeah, we don't have a way of skipping it yet, so we have to do this whole skidoo sequence. I'm waiting for the day that we figure out a skip to just get into that cabin.
Yeah, I think people tried to co-op through the gate, but that hasn't worked and the order isn't set up, so we have to go all the way through this.
I'm convinced someday someone will find a way, but yeah not yet. And in the meantime, we have this epic skidoo sequence. As you can imagine, this is quite janky to control.
Yeah, vehicles are something new to this game. In the first Tomb Raider, there were no vehicles. It's pretty much you were indoors the entire time. There's not even sky in the original game.
Yeah, it's just all black, isn't it, the sky?
Yeah.
The scary thing about this skidoo, really, and I'm going to just save just in case something goes dreadfully wrong. It's janky. There's lumps and bumps everywhere. Also, if you're going too fast down like a ramp, the skidoo will spontaneously combust. So I've got to be careful here. And I go about 1 to 2 miles per hour there anymore, and she would die.
And anything it touches instantly dies.
I love how anything it touches, it just instantly dies. Yeah, it can touch someone's pinky toe and they're a goner.
Yep, and they can run into it and they die. Just touching it kills it. You don't even need to be going at a speed.
It's a deadly machine that we're driving right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we made that one with no deaths, but we'll see on the way back. Oops. What a tune, though.
So good. And we get to hear it again later, don't we?
Yeah, we do, yeah. There's not a lot of music in this game, but what there is pretty great.
Yeah, sadly we skipped like some of it. And Italy has really nice music.
Yeah, the Venice violins.
Yeah, and the chandelier room. Yeah, they've always been very careful where they have music to create. Especially in Tomb Raider 1, the music really fits it as well.
Yeah, I love the music in Tomb Raider 1. Skidoo is just floating. Gravity doesn't apply the same in this game.
I don't remember what we're actually supposed to do in that room.
I don't know either. It's been so long. Every time I play this game casually, it's like I've never played it before. So we just skip so much of it in the speedrun.
Yeah, you're supposed to like drive around in front of some boulders and that causes the avalanche?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
That's probably the biggest skip of this level, was that.
Yeah, that guy's dropped a small med, but I think we're okay for meds. I'm not going to pick it up. Might be famous last words. Quote me later when I don't have enough meds. This is a bit of a sketchy jump. And what's weird is for this drop, you want to go full power to not die.
It's inconsistent.
It's very inconsistent because most of the time if you go full power down a ramp, it just totally kills you. But that's Tomb Raider for you. More animals that want to kill Lara. Please leave me alone. Yeah, so all of that skidoo sequence was to get a key to get into this cabin, to pull a lever which opens a door into the next segment.
One time I went all the way to that thing, caused the avalanche, came back, and I forgot to pick up the key.
You forgot the key? No. I'd be heartbroken. Were you on PB pace?
Yeah. Is that one of my first runs?
Bad.
All the gold splits, you get that.
No. It's a small.
Yeah, opening that door releases these three guys, and they have a lot of ammo.
A few friendly guys there. Oops. You didn't see that, guys. I'm not that clumsy, I swear. Just bonking my head on things. Yeah, so then there's this guy who has a skidoo that fires bullets.
And again, if you go near that thing, it will kill you with a
second. Oh, he's coming. Ooh. Oh no.
Nice dodge.
Come back. I got away with that. Oh no. There's a skidoo landed in a place where I can get on it.
Yeah, it should be doable.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I actually bugged it out the other day. It landed in the corner over there, and I couldn't get on it. It's really awkward. Ooh. But yeah, that segment there was quite dangerous because, like Taylor said, if you run into the skidoo at all, you're just a goner. Or if he runs into you. Doesn't matter if he just grazes your side. Gone.
And the skidoo's really awkward to control because if you're going forward at all and you try to turn, it keeps the forward momentum as you turn. You're making it look very good, but it's a very hard thing to control these vehicles.
I don't even know I'm making it look that smooth, but I'm trying.
You haven't exploded.
Yeah, I haven't exploded, yeah. That is true. Now we're going to do some bit of magic here. We part the skidoo there, it just has no hitbox for some reason, so we can pull this block through it. And then we can just hop right back on it.
Yeah.
My health is very dodgy right now. If I should heal. I don't want to heal. I'm going to be greedy.
I think you can do it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So now we made it to the Barkang Monastery. So the monks are going to help us out a bit here. As long as we don't take any shots at the monks, they will be our friend. And they'll help us take down some of the other enemies.
This might be the longest level we skip the most out of, because this one, there's a really good glitch in here that we'll use, but no, for this level you have to collect, is it 5 prayer wheels?
5, yeah.
Yeah. But we only need to collect 1, and then we can use the Seraph to, you'll see in a bit, but another ladder bug there.
Just casual ladder bug.
Yeah.
Lara doing a thing.
Do you do ladder bugs in your casual playthroughs?
Just works. Maybe sometimes. A friend of mine was playing Tomb Raider 1 for the first time. Oh, did I trigger the boulder? I'm trying to trigger the tile, not trigger the tile, sorry, for the boulder. Because this game works very much on tiles. If you run over certain tiles, it'll trigger certain enemies or traps and things. Or sometimes you can just jump right over them and skip the triggers.
And in this room coming up, we have to go over one of those to trigger a monk to help us.
Yeah.
So you were saying one of your friends was playing Tomb Raider 1 for the first time?
Yeah, he was playing Tomb Raider 1 for the first time, and he got stuck in a level called Cistern. And I was like, do you want to just learn the skip? And I taught him how to glitch in his oh no, I just ran into the flame. I've never done that before.
Famous words.
That's okay.
That's never happened before.
Never happened before, but it's the first time for everything.
Yeah.
It's because I was meant to do a run and jump,
that,
and I did a stand and jump. Sorry.
It's all right. I was just going to say we always joke that we have a quota on the show where that has to be said at least once a show. So I'm really glad you met today's quota. I can breathe easy.
GDQ Hotfix bingo.
Get out your cards, everyone.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, anyway, let's not do that again this time.
Do you have a favourite level in this game?
I don't know. Casually, I really like... I like the Venice levels the most, I think. Because they're the most nostalgic to me. I feel like as a kid, I never actually really finished this game. I think I used to get to a point and then I'd just level skip because it gets quite hard. So the Venice levels are very nostalgic to me. And the game just gets ridiculous later on. Wait until you see Floating Islands. If you've never seen that level before, it's quite something. Stylistically, anyway.
With that ladder bug there, again, it's looked similar to the other ones, but the setup for that is slightly different to, say, the ladder bug in Diving Area.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with this one. There's a lot of very similar glitches, but they all have slightly different setups. Just make it a bit tricky. Here we're going to do another dive bug, so we're going to try and meet the wall here and the floor at the same time. Should cancel out the fall damage.
I like how you did the spin for style points too.
I always do that. Yeah, you don't need to hit roll as you do it, but if you do, Lara does a little like spin in the air. It just looks really cool. Yeah, so this is the prayer wheel dupe. So normally you would have to collect 5 of these. But we're going to do a little trick where you can just dupe the Seraph. And it's really easy to do. It's like crazy easy to do.
Yeah, you just have to make sure... Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, go on, you can explain it.
You just have to make sure you pause the game. So when you go up to an item where you can use a key, you can either press pause to go to the inventory and then select the item, or press the action button and it will automatically come to the item selection. But we want to pause and then go and find the item and accept it. Because if we press action, it doesn't work. It cancels out.
Yeah, I think it breaks the dupe.
Yeah.
So that's the only difficult thing about it, is you sort of, if you let your brain wander and you accidentally press action in one of the spaces, then it will cancel out the dupe. But otherwise, it's so easy to perform that one.
Yeah, you can tell if it's working because there will be no name under the item. It will just be blank.
Yeah, yeah. It saves so much time, though. It's crazy. And then Yetis are a thing.
The Yetis.
All of a sudden. I was thinking this the other day. They're quite little, the Yetis. They're like the same height as Lara.
Yeah, and they're very
just got
muscular.
really big backs. Yeah. They never skip back day in the gym.
No. Well, what else are they going to do in these caves?
Yeah, true. This is a bit of a weird corner. I feel like most of the corners You need to be a bit... Oh, hold on. Can't get that angle right. There we go.
Yeah. We can use visuals.
It's usually a 45-degree angle you need to be at to do the corner bug, right? But
yeah, there are visuals like you can use the back of her legs against walls to tell when it's 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Or if her foot disappears into the wall, if there's a certain amount gone, that sort of gives it away. There's a lot of visuals you can use.
Yeah, that one's quite... It's a bit of a weird one. It feels a bit sticky to me.
Yeah, and the camera angle doesn't help either.
Yeah. Yeah, so we need this mask here. Again, there's a bunch of men trying to kill Lara. I'm going to take this drop very carefully because I don't want to lose too much health.
I didn't do too badly there.
That was
They were
alright.
quite generous.
Generous.
I went Sean Connery there.
Yeah, they were nice to me though. I want to be quite careful as I run into this room because there is a trigger for some snow leopards. One of those tiles triggers some snow leopards and it's really hard to kill them. There's like 5 of them that come out. We just don't have the ammo for it. And they take forever to kill with the regular pistols. That can be a run killer actually. That I think it's killed one of my runs before.
Yeah.
Just another thing for you to worry about, Taylor.
I was going to say,
that one yet.
what hasn't been a run killer?
Yeah, true. Yeah, so we're nearly out with this level. I think I can make this... Oh yeah, definitely.
What's cool about this level is there's a bridge that goes over a bit that we just walk past, and we will come to that later in this level. That's sort of like we go over the level.
Yeah, I like that, yeah. So I'm going to do a setup here for this springboard, because this can be a bit of a sketchy one.
That's the perfect word for this run.
It is, yeah. It's one of my favourite words to describe Tomb Raider speedruns.
Yeah, how would you explain that glitch? Yeah.
Hashtag just works. Another one of those.
Yeah. So there was another mask that we could use to open a door, but by standing on that tile, it opens the door that we need. And the door that we need the key for, we can just skip with a jump, so we don't actually collect it.
Yeah.
And again, flare cancels, saving time.
I missed the bridge, no.
And again, this is where we were earlier with the boulders and the leopards that we skipped.
That would have been funny if I ran off the bridge again.
This level's a big run killer for me as well.
Yeah. It's one of those things sometimes as well when you get into speedrunning and you just reset on like the first half of the game over and over. You're like less familiar with the later levels. That happens to me sometimes. There used to be a really cool glitch. Actually, one of my favorite glitches is the weapon combine. Did you run the game when we did that?
No, but it's still used for some categories.
Yeah, I love the weapon combine. Basically, you would combine the M16 and the shotgun. So you rapid fire shotgun shells and it kills the end level boss very quickly. It's so cool. And it's also really funny as well because you can hold it. It's like you hold your MP3 out. MP3. I actually didn't even mean to say that.
The MP3 gun.
I like to affectionately refer to the M16 gun as the MP3 gun because I accidentally called it that one day. I was doing a run. And I just like the idea of a gun that just shoots out tunes. That'd be great. But yeah, you like hold the M16 or sugar as your climbing ladders. So Lara effectively climbs the ladders with her knees, which would be funny. that's partly why it's my favorite as well. But yeah, we don't do that anymore because we don't pick up enough shotgun shells for it to be effective. Since the route changed.
Yeah, it's faster for us just to get enough ammo for the MP3 and then kill the mini boss that we're about to fight with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've used the Seraph to get into this temple, and in here is another item that we need, which is the actual key to get to the dagger.
Is this the key that opens the door from the Great Wall of China that we were looking at the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually wrote down its name because I thought I wouldn't remember it, and I didn't remember it.
And for whatever reason, there's a big muscular bird boss. Bipedal bird boss at the end of this level. I don't know what the lore is behind this boss, but it's like very random. It's very Tomb Raider.
Yeah, there's like no explanation. You're just going through
There's absolutely no explanation to it.
There's no warning of the legend of the Pigeon Man. There's just
This is a heck of a glitch coming up. I might actually just need to be quiet during this one because I have to do a lot of counting. But this is going to effectively skip the entire of Xi'an.
Yeah, Betsy's going to need to listen to Stumble, so everything has to be like quiet so you can actually listen to it.
Yeah.
Very hard.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Three, 4. Okay, I think I counted enough. Okay, I think I'm going to have to do it again because I can't hear her jumping backwards. This is a very frustrating glitch sometimes. Okay, so I need to count 38 of those, which is why this is so annoying sometimes if you mess it up. Okay, so now I need to listen for certain jump sounds. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we got there in the
Nicely
end.
done. That is the hardest glitch in this run.
It's very difficult. It skips, basically it takes us from the bottom of that room to the top, where the end level trigger is. But we're like moving around in a void, and it's I don't know, it's a weird one. And believe me, that glitch didn't cause this level to look like this. This is intended to look like this.
Yeah, a lot of glitches are found by accident, like the corner bugs and like the rolling bugs and things like that. That one, I don't know how they discovered that.
I don't know. It's so strange.
That's like a very carefully calculated one.
Yeah. It looks quite intimidating. I don't think it's quite as hard as it looks, but it's a lot of counting, and it's easy to lose track sometimes of where you're at because you can't really see anything. You rely pretty heavily on sound for that glitch.
Yeah, I have it like all the steps on a piece of paper in front of me as I do them because I can't remember all of that.
We're sort of about to do a similar one here as well. We're going to do some more void movement here. But this one's much easier.
This glitch as well has many different setups as well. Everyone does this one differently.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count 1 for good luck.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Best
yeah,
try.
I think I do a bit of a slower setup for that. It's just the first one I learned, and it's one that's stuck with me. Yeah, 2 very interesting glitches in a row there.
Yeah, so what is floating on that's inside the Great Wall?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what the explanation is for why it looks like that.
No, so
Just
there was a
some
cutscene
mystical
after there was a cutscene where Marco Bartoli has the dagger, stabs himself in the
Yeah,
stomach.
he stabs himself, yeah.
He gets carried through a corridor, and that's where we end up.
Nothing's ever really explained, is it? It's so weird. You get the basic gist of the plot, but there's a lot of stuff that should be explained that's just not. Right, so this guy's dropping a cookie that we need. I'm going to run around because I need to make sure I can pick this up in time. These guys are also throwing very deadly mouse curses at us, so we want to watch out for those.
Oh, I've never noticed that before.
They're literally mouse curses. Yeah, this is the level that I was talking about earlier that's like the most important for med management, really. You're gonna make sure you have at least a few. And then here's Marco Bartoli in all his glory.
Yeah, casually, this is a very tricky fight. So there are pools of water around that you can go into if you get caught on fire, but if you just stand behind this pillar, can't hit you.
Yeah, we have this magic little spot where he can't quite get to us.
And the grenade launcher works. It doesn't work on splash damage, so you don't. Yeah, we can shoot it, but it can't hit us.
Yeah. Lara got what she came for. Got there in the end.
Yeah, you can shoot that dragon as much as you want, but it won't die until you take the dagger out.
Run, girl. So that's the end. Oh no, not quite. So Lara's at home admiring her dagger, but the Italian cult isn't quite done with it yet. So they all rock up.
If you were in a cult, would you keep your sign spray painted on the side of your van so people knew who it was?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the best idea.
No.
Yeah, Lara luckily has a lot of shotgun shells stashed in this little cupboard by her bed.
Yeah, most people have a walk-in
wardrobe. Yeah, Lara has a walk-in shotgun shell stash.
Yeah, the goal for this is pretty much just, is it 21 enemies?
I think so. I never count. I should. That would be sensible. But
So we have guard dogs, melee enemies, and pistol enemies, and I think there's 21 in total. We need to kill all 21 to spawn the boss.
Yeah.
Which is a boss that we actually skip in this run earlier on in Opera House.
Yeah.
It's a mini boss there.
Yeah, there's not really too much you can do to speed up this section.
No. There's no glitches
God.
either necessarily.
Do some lights there, Lara.
Oh, and that's her assault course that she has, so she can be ready.
Yeah, we got Winston safely locked up in the freezer. Don't worry about Winston. The butler. I gotta keep an eye on my health. I can get a bit carried away sometimes, and that health drains pretty quickly.
Yeah, the dogs take a surprising amount in one go. The pistol guys aren't really a threat on their own, but when there's multiple of them like they are here, just coming out of every
Yeah,
door.
that dog scared me as well then. Just came at me from nowhere. Here he is.
And this is the final boss.
I love his walk. What a smooth mover.
Nicely done.
It's a massacre. It's a Croft Manor right now. Yeah, so time's coming up in a second.
Don't you think you've seen enough?
Okay, that's time.
Amazing. Good work, Becky.
Thank you.
So yeah, do you want to give a little, any sign off or where to find you, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for having me, Lana. This was a lot of fun.
Totally. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Taylor, for helping me out on comms. You were great.
Thank you.
We both stream. I stream less so these days, but I do like to do Tomb Raider speedruns when I can. And I like a lot of horror stuff as well. And Taylor, don't
Yes.
you want to?
I stream Wednesdays and Fridays. I stream speedruns of Tomb Raider 2.
And he also does
I
some
use-
music stuff as well, which is really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I do that every Monday, Music Mondays. And yeah, it's TaylorMade Aiden Taylor.
Yeah, check him out. Yeah, just thank you guys for watching. This is a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, you two. That was so much fun to watch. It's been an amazing evening/morning for you across the pond, folks. Just hanging out and enjoying She Is Speed together. So just before we finish up for today, a couple announcements. Reminder that Frame Fatales is having its next all-women speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, which starts this Sunday from August 21st to 27th. The marathon schedule is now out, and you can get your hands on it if you type !FF in chat, or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. That's the end of our show for today, but make sure to tune in tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Eastern for Game Masters, a show about speedruns and speedrun adjacent content where people show off their mastery of gaming, followed by Time Capsule, a show about speedruns of games that were released in the same year. So that's all for today. We're going to be heading away, but make sure to stick around because after the break, we're going to be raiding out somewhere. So we'll catch you all very soon. Have an amazing night, and we'll see you next time on She Is Speed.